welcome everyone to the wrap up of the NZ86 E-Series tonight. I am Matthew Pluck, the chairman and race control lead of this wonderful series I've had, joined with Brad Matheson from the broadcast team. Brad, how are we?
Yeah, good mate. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Glad to not be in the race control booth tonight, to be quite honest with you. It's been fairly busy last few weeks.
Yeah, it's been great racing though, I can tell you that much.
No, it's great to have you here. And tonight, we in the background, you'll see some of the great photography taken throughout the 5 rounds of racing during the series by the great and talented DM Cinematography. Damon Mulgreen, be sure to hit him up if you are after some team photos or event photography. Really brings the cars to life, Brad. Some of them look pretty close to real, to be honest.
Yeah, tell you right, I was looking at them earlier thinking, oh man, some of these are pretty hard to actually tell that they're off iRacing, but it's good to see.
That's awesome talent, and I don't really know how he does it because my game doesn't look anything like that. Well, tonight, guys, we are doing something a bit different, something a bit new for both of us. I'm sure you probably haven't done anything like this before, Brad, on your streams. So we're doing a bit of a presentation, some big prizes and cool rewards to give out tonight. Having some interviews with our drivers without the time limits of the night upon us. And have a couple of words with a couple of our supporters if they can find their way to our channel tonight as well. And we've also got a prize draw tonight for our SsangYong race day. Where lucky drivers going to get the opportunity to have a skid around Hampton Downs in a SsangYong ute, which is pretty cool opportunity. It's a random draw, not between the winners, so it gave the other guys who might have been a bit further down the field something to race for. Now, also tonight, guys, use the comment section. We're going to be interacting with you guys, firing your questions through to the drivers or us or the broadcast or whoever you want to fire a question to. If we're here, we'll try and answer it for you. So we'll move on to the first one of the night. But before we bring him in, this is for our third place prize for the championship. And I just want to give a quick shout out to MRP Sim Racing and Barry Mannon. Barry's unable to attend tonight, unfortunately. He's treating his wife to a nice night out, which sounds a lot better than this, to be quite fair. But look, MRP have been great support of sim racing here in New Zealand. Anyone who's been involved in particularly iRacing will be very familiar with the big MRP bold letters that splash across different series and events and cars. And he's been a great supporter so far of the NZ Sim Racing Collective, coming on board with the NZ Esports Hyperfiber League last year, and obviously the Sim Racing Collective tonight for this series, with Cream Insurance and our other sponsors. So, before further ado, for the MRP Sim Racing third place of the championship, we have Ewan Baker. Ewan, welcome to tonight's evening. Bit different tonight. You're not having to race or do laps or anything. You're just getting to sit here and talk shit with us for a few minutes.
Yeah, it's honestly so nice, so relaxing. I'm not used to this.
So obviously 5 weeks been pretty tough for everyone, to be fair. I think everyone's caught themselves with a strife and trouble throughout. Overall, Ewan, how do you find your season went?
Oh, very much a roller coaster. So coming in probably more than 5 weeks with the qualifying as well. After the qualifying round, I knew it was going to be one hell of a tough battle for 5 weeks. First round good, second round started to fall apart. By the time we finished Long Beach, I thought it was all over, and then rebounded really nicely at Sandown. So mixed, but overall in hindsight quite enjoyable. Not sure I'd want to be doing this every Monday night for the rest of the time, but it's very fun series, very high energy. So it's been good, and I'm very grateful to be able to take part in it.
Now, on top of your third place overall position, Ewan, you also took out a couple of fastest lap awards throughout the season, which I think brings you to a total of $510 to spend at the MRP Sim Racing store. Have you had a bit of a look through already and got your eyes on something?
Oh, yeah. Now, I've been having a bit of a browse. I've been wanting a sort of round wheel for my my sim rig for a while, so I've managed to spot one. So yeah, I set on that, and I think it'll be what I'm going for. So yeah, very, very awesome. Big thank you to Barry for putting forward that prize. I mean, $450 is, a decent chunk of money, and fantastic for him to put that support in. So I'm very grateful, and I'm definitely going to be enjoying that wheel when I get it.
Absolutely. The MRP gear is very nice, as you're aware, has a great range of catalogue of stuff to choose from. Now, throughout the series, you obviously race with a lot of different drivers, and you're probably as surprised as I was. There's quite a lot of names in the series that we probably haven't seen race before at this level. Was there anyone out there that kind of new, that caught your eye, that you enjoyed, or maybe not enjoyed too much racing with?
Put me on the spot. It's a lot of drivers to keep in mind, especially with the reverse top 10, and everybody had different levels of success throughout the rounds. So you really mixed it up with a lot of people. Quick sort of thought off the top of my head. I mean, the likes of James Corbin. I haven't raced against him much, but he was very impressive throughout the series. Anna Klemic, that was a new name, and she really proved herself very capable in the series. It was fantastic to see. Even Dunn, new name I hadn't seen, and he absolutely was flying in the qualifiers. So hopefully he can join in a few more of these sorts of competitions and show what he can do. I mean, honestly, just throughout the whole field, like Leo Duncan's another one that comes to mind. As you say, a lot of people qualified for this. A lot of people that I haven't come across in the few years I've been doing it. So yeah, it's great to see just the sort of explosive growth that sim racing has had in New Zealand, and the level of competition that it provides. It's keeps pushing us forward. We certainly don't have it easy, and I can only imagine it's going to get more and more difficult as time goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you touched on James Corbin there, Ewan. I believe you two were battling it for third place overall in that last round of the season. And I don't know if you looked at the points after the protest and that came through, but there's only 1 point separating us at the end. So it's very tight on the leaderboard. You must have had a few good battles with him throughout the season as well. And did you know it was that tight going to last race?
Yeah, I did. I don't know whether it was a mistake or not, but after race 2 at Sandown, I did have a quick look at the points, a quick calculation just to see what I was faced with. And yeah, so I think I was tied on points, so just behind him. So I knew I had to finish ahead of him in that last race. So that was what the main focus was on. And fortunately, all panned out. But yeah, thinking about it, I can't actually recall racing him that often on track. I think we always managed to miss each other somehow, but ended up with almost the same points coming towards the end of it. So I think it's funny how that works with the mix up of the grids and reverse races and just the general level of elbows out and mixing it with different people. We never really came across each other all that often.
Yeah, it was quite interesting because the races when the Heroes up the front, like you say, were probably the races that you didn't quite do so well in. But in the races that you're up the front, here's down battling it in the nosebleeds. So kind of yo-yo, yin and yang almost you two were throughout the season. But those reverse grids certainly gave you this opportunity to cross paths at some point.
Yeah, and I think the reverse grid is almost like a tale of two halves with this series, because you'd have those that are strong qualifiers and thus have a very strong race 1, whereas the ones that maybe can't quite nail the qualifying lap or get a bit unlucky with not getting a draft or traffic, they ended up a bit further down. But then race 2 comes along and suddenly it's a big flip over there up the front of the field and we're left scrapping it in the middle. So it really does highlight the different strengths and weaknesses of all the drivers, which is very interesting to see.
Absolutely. So we did some pretty 5 different tracks on this series. A lot of variety. We had a road course, a road oval, sorry, a street circuit. We went to Japan and Motegi, and obviously finished in Sandown. What was your favourite track of the series?
I don't know if it could be a bit cliche and say Sandown because that was the best one for me, but no, in all seriousness, Motegi, I think. I mean, didn't quite have the pace in race 2 and 3 again, but had a great battle with Antal, and I've just always gelled with that track. I've always loved it. So yeah, that was a really enjoyable round for me. Long Beach as well. I love that track, but it's never been kind to me. So it's a bit of a love-hate relationship there. And yeah, other tracks, I mean, like Homestead, it's not a track that we race in anything very often. It doesn't come up in officials, at least the road course, that often. So it was good to get onto some other tracks that aren't quite as popular in the grand scheme of sim racing.
Now, we were a bit gutted that the rain didn't come at Sandown. It was all over the forecast the whole session. It started wet, and then it went away just as action started.
Yeah, it's been promised all series and then never really hit. We had that one semi-wet race at Homestead, which was good. That was just that perfect divide between wet and dry tires. So that was a lot of fun. And then qualifying at Sandown really mixed things up. It would have been nice to see more weather. I think that really did shake the field up quite a bit when it did show its head on those rare occasions. Bit of a shame, but I think it's just trying to tweak iRacing's weather system. It's very easy to have a session with 65% chance of rain and get nothing, and equally you can have it set quite low and then it's a monsoon. So a very, very difficult thing to balance. But odds are in the future, I'm sure we'll get some good wet weather racing going.
Yeah, the weather can definitely throw a curveball, and we saw that in the qualifying with Antel setting the pace early on the wet tyres, and there's a few guys out on slicks, so it took about 12 of the 15 minutes to build temperature, but right at the end of the session, they came smashing through, and I think Antel qualified 12th or so for that last round, and you're up near the front on the slicks, so that tyre choice, when the weather is kind of 50-50, it can definitely throw a spanner in the works, like you say.
Yeah, absolutely. That 50-50 choice, it really could go either way. So it does put a nice split up the field and what you decide on doing. I think kind of shows as well that sort of judging track wetness, looking at the radar, seeing what's coming, it's as much luck as a skill, but it's very useful if you can make the right call.
We've got a question from the chat here, Ewan. Obviously, raced a lot of different series at Kiwi Sim Racing and obviously NZD Sports and Scops, and we see you racing just about anything. What car do you actually like driving? Did you have a favourite?
Hard to pick a favourite. There's that many that I do race in. All strengths and weaknesses. I love open wheelers to drive. I think having something with a bit of downforce and just raw pace is, it's just a fantastic experience. And being able to really throw it into corners, lightweight car, all that it really is nice. But when it comes to actual racing in them, because they're so fragile, and my perchance for finding incidents, it doesn't equal good results all the time. So I can lean the other way and say TCRs are a highlight for me. Not necessarily big on front wheel drive cars, but there's just something about them that I really gel with and really enjoy. It's that sort of door to door, elbows out driving, but they walk that line where they're quick enough to be challenging and be fun to drive, but not so fast that spreads the field out, or you have a slight touch with someone and get speared off the road into the fence. So yeah, it's hard to say. I'd love to see more sort of classic or retro series, Lotus 79 or so the Nissan GTP or Audi GTO sort of thing. It'd be nice to see iRacing add more of those sorts of cars, to be honest, but there's just something about the sort of classic mechanical feel, everything 70s, 80s, 90s race cars, I think, were just absolute peak of motorsport. And even though we've gotten faster and the technology's progressed, there's just something so raw and unfiltered about it that I love. So more things in that I'd be a massive fan of.
Well, while we're on the subject of historic cars, in a couple of weeks' time, we have this year's running of the virtual Motorsport New Zealand Men's Health Charity and Enduro event. In the Audi 90 GTO, Brad, I don't know if you've actually seen many details about that so far, Brad, but that's a really cool event coming up that they run each year, and it'll be really cool to see a good field running those GTO Audis around. I think it's Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Really cool race there. Ewan, do you have any plans to take part in that?
Normally I would, but unfortunately I'm away for that weekend, which is really, really unlucky. It's a great track, great car. As I mentioned, it's the sort of car that I love driving. So, and it's also an amazing event. Took place in one a couple of years ago. I think it was the old supercars around Chicago Street Circuit, and that was a lot of fun. A lot of really talented drivers, big names from New Zealand motorsport taking part, which was awesome to see, and just a fantastic race for a great cause. So yeah, a bit gutty to miss this year's one, but I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic show, and I will be watching along.
Yeah, I think your co-driver might let you down at that Chicago race last time round, Ewan. But hopefully he's still got someone to drive with and isn't scared everyone away yet.
No, he's got plenty of pace. He'll find someone easy.
There was a small follow-up question to the previous viewer question there, Ewan, and it's from Ben from Kirsten Racing, and he just wanted to know what series not to run, so knew what cars not to pick. But you pretty much covered just about everything. So I don't know if you've actually made his decision any easier.
Yeah, it's a hard question. There's certainly things I'm not good at. Dirt oval stuff, I haven't run enough to really learn what I'm doing there. There's plenty of guys that could absolutely run laps around me all day in those series. Doesn't matter what the car is. Same with sort of rallycross. Oval, I have my moments of doing all right, but equally, I have my moments of being upside down. So it's hard to say. Road course wise, I mean, there's cars that are maybe slightly dull to drive, but I've not found anything that I'm terrible at. So I don't know, just roll a big wheel and see what comes up, and maybe we'll find one.
Just
sounds like.
Just quickly, while you're talking about ovals, Ewan, just before we had a question regarding that in the chat, whether we were going to see a return to NSCAR or not.
Honestly, just finding time in the schedule. I commit to way too much stuff. I say the same thing every year that I've overcommitted, I've burnt myself out, I need a break. And then the new year rolls around, I've had a couple of weeks off, and then I just sign up to everything. So yeah, it's that feeling where I'd love to run NSCAR again. It's a fantastic series. It's something that's slightly outside of my comfort zone, but a lot of fun to do. But yeah, Wednesdays are somewhat my very rare nights off, so I don't want to get back into a situation I found myself in last year where I was racing 5-6 times a week on week. It was just far too much.
Just 4 nights, yeah? The cut limit there?
Yeah. Well, it was bad enough when this series was on. It was Monday nights, Tuesday nights. I had the occasional Friday night series on at the weekend for Sundays, and that clashes with another series I'm running on Sundays. So, fingers crossed with the calendar missing itself there. It's so much to juggle, and it's a lot of these things are, quite fairly high level. There's a lot of very talented drivers out there, and I can't, rest and just think, oh yeah, I'll rock up to 2 minutes practice and perform well. I need to put in the time and the hours beforehand to get the most out of it. So it's balancing all that as well.
No, that is definitely a fine work-life game balance you have to run there, Ewan. I know back in the day when I used to run pro events, it took up a lot of time, and it's quite mentally draining. And you start to ask yourself, am I still enjoying this? But at this stage, you seem to be still running away with us, Ewan. Before we let you go, is there anyone you want to thank or give a shout out to, or anything you want to say to anyone before we head off?
Yeah, obviously big thanks to the team, Kiwi Sim Racing. Been with you guys for a few years now. They've not kicked me out yet, so that's always good. It's been great fun being part of that community. Massive thanks to the sponsors as well, Speed Nation and InspireNet. Big thank you to a couple of sponsors that I've got for myself in Scott Technology and Shearwater Studios. Shout out to everyone involved in this series. I know running these sorts of things is not easy, and especially when it comes to stewarding and just corralling 30 plus drivers that are all hotheads. It's a big mission, a big task. So massive respect to everyone behind the scenes. And also while I'm at it, just a shout out to everyone that supported me, and also in the driver vote for the last round, it was very close with Mitchell Sparrow. So I think it was 4 votes off in the end, but 112 people voted for me in that. So that's very humbling to see that level of support. So a massive thank you to everyone that's sort of here for me and has my back.
No, that's awesome, Ewan. Some kind words to everyone, and I'm sure we will all enjoy seeing you drive off into the distance next time we race you on track.
Yeah, I'll always do my best.
Awesome. All right, thanks, Ewan. So Ewan walks away with $450 from MRP Sim Racing for third overall in this championship. Plus 2 fastest lap awards throughout the season. He managed to claim those as well to add to his tally. So overall, Brad, I think pretty good season for him.
Yeah, too right. He'll be pretty happy. I know coming into that last round, he sort of wrote off any chance of getting any podium, but certainly pulled out a couple of good wins on that final night to get himself up into third.
Yeah, he had a bit of a mare at Long Beach, which, as he said, love-hate relationship. It was definitely a hate relationship that round for him.
Too right.
Alright guys, well, before we kick into our next interview, just want to quickly give a shout out obviously to another one of our sponsors, Next Level Racing. They sponsored the second place overall in the season. They had a couple of ideas they threw us in ways that they could support the season. There's ideas between a sim rig or some equipment. They ended up just deciding, hey, let's give away $1,000 instead. So pretty cool prize. Big shout out to Next Level Racing. If you're looking at getting a new rig, be sure to check them out. The local distributors, Speed Nation in Auckland, so be sure to go check them out. They have a showroom that you can set up and have a sit, have a fit up, and see what's going to work for you. So Bradley, let's move on to second place in the season. The Next Level Racing second prize for get the nice graphic out of the way. Mitchell Sparrow, mate, you're here, second place overall. The Next Level Racing second prize for the season, $1,000 voucher. How does that feel?
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty surreal after coming into the championship and not really having an expectation or anything to really kind of chase for. I think my goal after the first round had kind of changed. Once that happened, I had an expectation and what I wanted to achieve. So yeah, I definitely blew my own expectations out of the water, and I can't thank Next Level and Speed Nation enough for putting forward that prize. It's a privilege to be able to get the job done and take that home. So yeah, I can't say enough.
It's awesome to have you on board, Mitch, and you brought along a few mates as well. There's a few Mackenzie Motorsport cars joining you on track throughout the season. Most deliveries were the same, a few different sponsors here and there, but it must have been good sharing the track with some local friends that might help you out in the championship.
Yeah, it was really cool. Obviously, we kind of seen the series come about, and we all kind of talked about it a little bit. We were actually at the last round, I think, in Taupo at the Supercars event. Obviously, Arthur, AJ, and obviously Tom race in the Toyota 86 Championship. And they were like, yeah, no, we can get wildcard entries, and then me and Aiden just had to qualify. So we're like, all right, we'll have a crack at this and see how we go. So no, it was awesome to do it with them and get to represent our brand and have fun along the way. I think our cars looked awesome. We obviously all had our own personal sponsors on the side of the car, with myself having MRX, Core Gas, and Track Vision. And yeah, we all had our own colours, and they all matched identically, just apart from the colours, and it looked very professional and well put together. And we put our best foot forward most weeks and had some awesome results and had a bloody good time along the way. So that was the main thing. And yeah, it's definitely something we want to do more of in the future together. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see kind of what our next series might be and how we go in that.
So I have to ask, are you going to kick one of them out of the seat for next season? Because you showed them all up in the series.
I've told AJ that if he ever needs a spare driver, obviously, you know, I can pedal a car pretty alright. But no, obviously, I enjoy what I do on the spanners, and I get to jump in a race car every now and then, thankfully, to my granddad who owns a V8 Ute and a couple other people that lend their cars off to me. So I get my fulfillment out of that. I'd love to do, once I heard the prize that Antal got for winning the championship, I was pretty gutted. I thought that would have been actually really cool to go and do. But yeah, I think I'll be at that event anyway, cheering him on and obviously working on a young fellow named Nathan Grammer who's just learning the Toyota 86 car at the moment. So yeah, I'll be there watching Antal and doing my job and my work, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But nah, I think those boys have definitely got it covered in real life, so they can hold their seats for a little while longer.
And in case someone gets sick, though, you'll be right there ready to go.
Yeah, I've got my motorsport license. She's up to date. I got all my gear, and yeah, I think I might have to start taking my gear to the events and just to them every now and then. That if they keep sucking on a Friday, then put me in for quali and let's go do it.
Show them how it's done. I got a couple of questions here that are kind of related to each other from the broadcast there, Mitchell, both relating to the top performer vote, which we'll get to shortly. But I want to know is how do you make so many friends, and are they all real votes?
Yeah, obviously, I think the week, there's something ridiculous overall on the post. It was like 600 votes or something, yeah, stupid, and to have 300 myself was pretty cool. I'd like to say I know most of them, but I had a lot of friends sharing it around, and they got a lot of their friends to vote. But yeah, a majority of those people are very, very close to me and have had a influence on my career actually throughout go-karting and everything. There's a lot of go-kart people on there. There's a lot of people from the race car track and from work, and obviously family, friends and loved ones that got on behind me and supported me on that. But yeah, I guess I'm a popular bloke getting 300 votes, but wasn't quite enough that week. And obviously last week we got the job done, so that was pretty cool and a nice little way to end the championship.
Yeah, the vote you had against Bryce Harding from round 3, I think it was, Mitch. We're watching the tally go up, and each night is like you had to sway the votes come in, and then the next night he had a heap come through, and it just kept going up and up. And I think you both ended up in just over 300 votes each. It was incredibly close, and it was really cool to kind of see that kind of engagement from the viewers and fans.
Yeah, obviously it's awesome for the brand that you guys have and the series. It was awesome to get that promotion and actually I think after that week of the top performer boats, then to watch how many more viewers we had on the live stream the week later was awesome to see, and it was awesome to kind of have a part in the growth of that. So yeah, I can't say enough for everyone that voted on it. I can't say thank you enough. And obviously, congratulations to Bryce that got me that week. I was pretty gutted because I thought we were pretty strong there for a little bit. But it's an awesome prize that I think everyone worked pretty hard for throughout the championship to get that opportunity to be a part of the votes. And yeah, lucky enough, I was on there 2 or 3 times and managed to get to win one of them. So yeah, it was pretty surreal.
Yeah, well, leading into that, Mitchell, we'll announce tonight live that I think Ewan led into it previously as well by 4 votes. So it's another close one. But Mitchell, you took out the top performer prize for round 5.
Yeah, it's obviously, like I said, it's pretty surreal. It's pretty cool. I can't thank everyone else enough that voted for me. I was pretty hard on myself after the second race. I thought, if I'd won both races, at the end of the night, it would have probably made my life a little bit easier in the polls. Unfortunately, yeah, some muppet decided that he was going to hit too much curb at the second to last turn at Sandown and screwed that over. But still to win one race that night and then get to have an opportunity once more at getting to being a top performer and actually taking it out was pretty cool.
So as part of that top performer, Mitchell, you get a choice between 3 different Moser essentials for your rig. The HDP 6. So I think it might be actually a 7-shift pattern. It's an H pattern shifter anyway. I'm not too sure how many it's got. You've got the handbrake and the sequential shifter. Have you had much thought about which one you'd like to take home?
I'm in between the sequential shifter and the handbrake. I'm a very big. One of my best mates is actually a very big pro drifter. In the D1NZ Championship, and I do a lot of drifting with him, so that kind of sways my mind to get the handbrake and be able to do some drifting with him on the sim. But then at the same time, I'm a huge supercars fan, and I've got a couple of mates that race in the supercars that I get to have a bash around with them every now and then. It's pretty cool just to hang off the end of a sequential shifter and pluck gears and smash down the gears on your down changes. So yeah, I haven't quite decided fully yet, but it's a tough decision. Yeah, I think either way, it's an awesome prize, and yeah, I'm pretty grateful to have won it and have the opportunity just to have a chance at it.
Very much so. It's awesome to have Moser Racing supporting us in this series. I myself have a bit of Moser Racing gear, and it is really, really good, top quality. Hasn't made me go any faster, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping it would, but that's why I'm on this side of the fence and not out there racing with you guys.
Yeah, it's an awesome brand. They've definitely. I think it's quite a new brand from what I understand, and one of my mates has got a whole Mozart sim, and I've had a play on that once or twice, and it's definitely quality gear. It's an awesome way to get into the sim racing sport and the sim racing side of it. So, yeah, no, thanks very much to Mozart for putting it forward, and yeah, I'm gonna enjoy and I'm gonna love which one of the two I get.
Absolutely. Now, he does have a couple last questions before we go from our viewers. Mitchell, the first one was Long Beach, turn 1 or turn 2, race 1. You got a little bit of a nudge and ended up facing the wrong way and saw the whole field pull into you. What was your initial reaction when that happened?
Yeah, I think if you asked me this question obviously 2 weeks ago, you probably would have got a pretty different reaction, a different answer. But at the end of the day, man, it's motorsport. It was one of those things. It was going to happen to somebody at that turn. It congests really hard on the entry while everyone's under brakes, and obviously there's people behind that had a little bit of a worse qualifying, and they were trying to make gains in any opportunity they could. So yeah, it's just one of those things. I guess the easy way to say it is it's motorsport. I would have definitely liked to have got through the turn. I think it would have definitely changed the outcome. It gave me a better shot at the outcome of the championship. But yeah, it is what it is. In hindsight, it actually helped our team out quite a lot because Arthur and AJ had qualified like 28th. And obviously, when I was half blocking the track, I was able to say over our communication system to the boys to stick to the right and stick to the inside, and they picked up about 20 positions out of it. So, yeah, it was pretty hard for me, but it was awesome for them, and it definitely changed the results of their night.
Yeah, it's tough kind of trying to keep with Antel on the leaderboard. After round 3, you kind of closed the gap a bit and looked like it was going to get spicy, and then Long Beach just blew it wide open again. Got a good nudge at Sandown to bring it back. I think you're 9 points behind in the end, Mitch, somewhere around that, which, considering how dominant Antel was in the first couple of rounds, you managed to claw it back quite well.
Yeah, I just focused throughout the whole championship on being consistent and obviously finishing races. I think the winner race was 30 points, to finish second was 29, and it went down evenly like that, but to DNF was 0. So it was just crucial to finish races and obviously be at the pointy end. I learnt after probably the first 2 rounds, I figured out the system of obviously where you finish in race 1, it's reverse top 10. So to win the first race is cool, but then you have to start off 10th, and then you got to drive your way back through, and wherever you were to finish in race 2 was your grid in race 3. So I found it almost, it's a little bit cheeky tactic, but to finish 5th or 6th in race 1 was good points, and then you start nearer the front in race 2, try and get to the kind of the top or the front row for the last race, and then you've got 2 really strong races to finish the night. So I started playing quite tactical, and obviously the boys helped me out quite a lot that I had around me, and yeah, we got close. We had a bloody good crack. Obviously, it looks a lot tighter, the championship result, due to Antel's kind of shocking last round. So yeah, in hindsight, I think if he had a normal Antel Sabo wizard round in the last round, I would have been nowhere near. So yeah, it just made it look good. The 9 points looks good just because of his kind of shocking last round. That's all it really is, I guess.
Wouldn't be an Antel Sabo championship without having a shocking last round. It's but a part course for him, as we've seen over the years, but unfortunately this time round he was able to hold on to it. One last comment before we go, or one question so much before we go. Who was the toughest competitor for you to race against during the season?
I think the easy answer would to be actually Antel. I didn't get to race him that much, but just the fact that he was so fast and he was so good in qualifying and just racing wise, he was definitely probably the hardest to try and beat. But I think I'm a big fan of just hard racing and door to door, and I think Leo Duncan, I've never seen a Toyota 86 be so wide. Man, he was able to stretch that thing the whole way across the track and do it clean as well. He would move a little bit under brakes, but still enough to give you room on the outside that he wasn't going to run you off. And yeah, he was definitely I'd say the most challenging to race, and I actually really enjoyed it. Yeah, like I said, I'm a big fan of hard racing, and he definitely gave that to me. So yeah, I really enjoyed racing him.
Yeah, from the race control booth, Mitch, I would prefer it to be slightly less hard racing, but definitely plenty for us to watch. And Leo was with a new face for us as well. I'd kind of seen him race at Supercars NZ a little bit, but for a lot of guys, he was a bit of an unknown, and he definitely showed up and, like you say, made his car wide and made his presence felt throughout the series.
Yeah, I can't. Obviously, there was so many people in the championship that were hard to race, and he's just one that comes to my mind. Obviously, it's really hard racing teammates, because you kind of saying to them like, "Hey man, I need a couple extra points. Can I get past you?" But at the same time, they're there to race and they're there to win as well. And yeah, so they were really hard to race. But Leo definitely took the prize on that one for me.
No, awesome stuff, Mitch. Well, we'll leave you there tonight. Well done and congratulations on your next level racing $1,000 voucher. I will pester you later on about your decision for your motor racing shifter or handbrake. See which one you take. For what it's worth, I believe Mad Mike actually has a bit of motor kit in his Drift McLaren. If you wanted to follow that route.
Yeah, definitely. I'm lucky enough where I work at Hampton Downs. He has a workshop there too, so I might have to go have a chat to him tomorrow and see what he thinks. A big thank you to Mozart. Also, just while I've got the opportunity, I just want to thank everyone that supported me throughout the whole championship. Friends, family, loved ones, my team, obviously Pablo, Jaden, Glenn and Sam in the workshop. Every week they were kind of pushing me on to get home and get on the sim and do some practice. The boys on the track, Aiden, AJ, Arthur, Tom... can't thank you guys enough for pushing me along and testing and making sure that I had put my best foot forward going in. And then, just my sponsors, MRX Race Sims, Mackenzie Motorsport, Core Gas, Track Vision, Glasshouse Property Management, everyone else that's behind me and supports me throughout these championships. I can't thank them enough. And then, the series promoters, yourself, everyone in the commentators, booth, the officials and everyone, I can't thank you guys all enough. I really enjoyed it. Definitely found my passion for sim racing again. So thank you very much. And you'll see more of me around, I think, now on, and hopefully you'll see me at the pointy end still.
Yeah, hopefully not any races that I'm doing, Mitchell, because I can't go any further back than what I'm already getting. But thanks, and well done. And we look forward to seeing you on track more with us, Mitchell.
This team, thanks very much. Have a good night, and congratulations to Antel. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he gets on in the TR round. So thank you, guys.
Cheers. All right, Brad. Well, next up we have a bit of a prize draw for the SsangYong race shoot. This was something offered up by Mark as a bit of a prize for the other guys who might not be competing for the championships to still have something to race for. The criteria to be eligible for this prize was to just get through fairly simple, Brad, 5 rounds with no infringements or penalties. And sounds pretty easy, right? Well, we've got 3 drivers. We got 3 drivers eligible. We did, to be fair, we did have 5. 2 of them have pulled out from the draw as they weren't able to attend. So we've got 3 guys left: Justin Davies, Avon Dunn, and Tyler Williams, who, to be quite honest, Brad, is keeping their nose clean throughout the whole season with the action that we saw is quite a good effort.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong there. We saw plenty of panels being rubbed throughout the series, so yeah, massive job from the people that did manage to come away with no infringements as such.
Yep, so the SsangYong Ute will be delivered and ready to hop in at Hampton Downs Raceway, courtesy of Mark Mallard and Cream Insurance. Well, we've got our names here. We've got the spinning wheel up on screen, Brad. So if you want to do the honours, click the spin button and we'll see who's going to walk home with a drive.
All right, here we go.
And it looks like Justin Davies. Well done, mate. Well done. Hopefully you like Hampton Downs and smoky old diesel utes, because you're going to be behind the wheel of one at Hampton Downs.
Yeah, that's awesome, ain't it?
How cool is that, Justin? Well, if you're in the chat and watching, well done, mate. Awesome to see more people get behind the wheel, which ultimately, us here running these events and being involved in sim racing, the ultimate dream is to progress into a professional drive or a racing car of some sort. So I don't know if a SsangYong Ute's really a racing car, Brad, but I mean, it goes around a track and makes some noise, and it'll probably slide a bit for you too, so it should be good bit of laugh.
Yeah, too right. Plenty of fun, I would say.
Absolutely. Sounds like a good function, actually, Brad. You get a few guys together, go smash some doors in the ute.
Yeah, get behind that. Just no lid skids. That might get a bit expensive.
Oh, Mark, have you got any more utes hanging out for us? We might be able to organise a bit of a fun day, eh? All right, guys. Well, we've got two main prizes left to announce tonight. The Teams Championship and our overall champion. We'll head into the Teams Championship first, which was a bit of probably a last-minute addition, to be honest. It wasn't something we initially had planned for the series, but we had Harry Edwards from Has3D jump on board and offer his what are they, Brad? The LED speed flags, I believe. So basically a little dashboard that shows blue flags, yellow flags, that kind of stuff while you're driving, which is really cool. So one for each driver of the winning team. And we've got the two drivers ready to join with us. It was a fairly close championship. They did get the lead from round one, but they held it throughout the season. I don't think second got within less than 20 points for them, so fairly consistent season for them. And that is our winners, Team Kiwi Sim Racing and Speed Nation, Hayden Kirk and Ewan Baker. Ewan, Hayden, well done. The Teams Championship, inaugural Teams Championship with NZ Esports, NZ Sim Racing Collective, with yourself and Ewan Baker taking out the Has3D speed flags, one each for you. How good is that?
Awesome. Just what I want, a distraction for not keeping eyes on the track. But good on Harry for I know he gets involved in the sim racing community and sponsorship pretty hard. So it's be cool. I'm always looking forward to accessories to add to the rig. So how good.
Now, what do you think that? Oh, sorry, Ewan. Just quickly, Hayden. What do you think that speed flag would have been showing when you're on your lid at Long Beach?
I think the what's the orange circle and black?
The old meatball flag.
Yeah, I have a few extra LEDs in that unit for some of my incidents, but yeah, I'm glad that was well documented across the social media and broadcast.
We did have the Photoshop earlier. During Ewan's interview, actually, for third, we didn't quite time it well enough to show up while you're on the screen, but we definitely will have a fair amount of work and road worth of sharing that around in the future, Hayden. Ewan, obviously your teammate, partners in crime. How did you guys kind of work together through the season? Because you guys probably weren't on track together too much, but you obviously had to work together to make sure the points came across.
I mean, to be fair, I think a lot of it, like, Hayden is a very capable driver, as he proved, and was able to just bag those consistent points every race, which really drove this whole thing forward. So, yeah, it didn't need much management on my side. I think it was more a case of Hayden putting up with me getting frustrated at incidents more than anything. So, yeah, so big props to him. Yeah, it's just good driving from the pair of us. I think between the two of us, we're a good match. There were a couple of other teams there that had a lot of pace, but inconsistency, or one driver getting a lot of the things going his way, but his teammate not managing to get as many points. So yeah, it was just a perfect pair and worked out fantastically.
Yeah, Hayden, you probably didn't feature a lot during the series and the broadcast, is consistently kind of being in that top 10 area until Long Beach, of course, which we got a bit of airtime for you. But overall, your season wasn't too bad either, Hayden. I think you came home 8th overall in the season, somewhere around that. How do you kind of rate your season overall?
Yeah, no complaints from me, to be honest. I probably ended up in the point standing a little higher than where I should have been after the first couple of rounds, just to mishaps from other people. I think I kind of raced with a pick and choose my battles. I probably didn't have the luxury to go fighting hard, so it was just a case of trying to keep pace with some of the people ahead and capitalize on any mistakes. So there were mistakes, and I was definitely culprit of a couple as well. But yes, in terms of the teams going, I think Ewan hit the nail on the head. We were both fairly consistent. I want to say we probably collectively had the least incidents across the team as well. So shout outs there. But yeah, no, just definitely. I like this card too. I seem to suit my driving style. Seems to suit kind of patient, slow speed cars for some reason. So yeah, no, all good.
I think a big thing as well I want to point out is that I don't think we ever ran into each other all series. So for a KSR team, that is an achievement. So yeah,
that's probably. I think that's a record for you guys.
That's a first. I mean, Ewan's pretty rapid, right? As long as he's at the pointy end, it'll be nowhere near him. I tried to. There were a couple of times where I had just missed out on that top 10 invert, but that would probably ultimately ended up in more carnage. So, lucky for some.
Hey, you got to fill Brad's highlight reel. He loved nothing more than a good lid skid, and he would have been disappointed if he didn't get one at the end of the season.
Too right.
Yeah, well, it was not just any lid skid either. I didn't touch a single thing. It just fell over.
It was all on your own. I did have a good chuckle watching it back when we were doing the stewards report and just seeing exactly how you found yourself there. Because, like you say, you didn't hit anything. It was self done, and I think it's quite talented, to be quite honest, being able to do it with style.
I'm just here to break records. That's it. Not win races. just achieve the unachievable.
We have a question from the viewers, Hayden. It's one that was asked to Ewan earlier. Is any plans to come back to NASCAR?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, now that a lot of the series of more or less finishing up, I'll jump back in. There's always a lid skid or two to be had there, so we'll be back. Thanks, Ben.
That is awesome. And for those who are watching on and don't know what NASCAR is, it is New Zealand's oval racing NASCAR series ran by Sim Motorsport New Zealand. It's a great series to be a part of. It's broadcast live on our NZ Sim Racing TV channel on Wednesday nights. And the last few seasons, the Sigma Sim Sports guys have been dominating that series. So it'll be good to see Hayden back out on track in the KSR colours and see if someone can take the fight to them. Well, Brad, is there anything else we want to ask the two teams champions before we let them go?
I think we're good this side.
Pretty good. Is there anything that you guys, Hayden and Ewan, well, Ewan's already said his, but Hayden, is there anything that you want to thank or give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I mean, as much as it pains me, well done to yourself and the team here for putting on this event. It's I can get a wee bit of a glimpse into what goes on in the background. So just from organising it, and also we have obviously Speed Nation back KSR for a few years now. They're a big part of why we go racing. And obviously Mark and Cream Insurance for putting on some pretty epic prizes. Like this is, I don't know, for the first that I've been a part of since I've jumped behind the computer wheel. And also the SimSpeed broadcast, how good was that? Watching those guys fizz up for some of the battles, the racing was really good. And yeah, they did.
It was actually NZ Sim Racing TV broadcast, Hayden.
No, that's NZ.
Yeah. we just poached the commentators.
But sorry, the NZSRC done a great job there.
Now, awesome. Thanks, Hayden. And Ewan, here's all right too, right? Awesome, guys. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. We hope to see you defend your team's title in whatever series we run next.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Do our best.
Well, guys, there you have it. Our team's champions for the NZ86E Cup. And our first team's championship we've ran here at New Zealand Sim Racing Collective. Kiwi Sim Racing Speed Nation taking it out. And with Kiwi Sim Racing, for those who don't know, they're probably one of the longest serving communities in New Zealand for sim racing. They notched up their 20-year anniversary last year. So they've been around for a while. I don't know if any of the original members are still there, but I know Ben Doherty has been probably our longest serving member and probably starting to show his age a little bit as well. But it's awesome to see those guys take out the first team's championship. and we'll see what team will rise to the challenge for the next one. Well, next up, guys, we have one prize left to go, but quickly before we get into presenting that, we've got Mark Mallard here from Cream Insurance. Mark, how are you?
Good, thank you. Great.
Well, Mark, it's been awesome to have you on board with this season. Everyone who's been involved, whether they're viewing, racing, admining, to an extent, race control's been busy, but everyone involved has had a great time, and we're all very grateful for what you and Cream Insurance have contributed towards this event and sim racing New Zealand as a whole.
Yeah, it's cool to be part of the sim racing fraternity. As you saw me fiddling around at the back, I didn't get to practice much. Work's been far too busy, disappointingly. Well, good things are bad. And to see Motorsport New Zealand, which I'm a big part of as well, back this series was really cool. So to have an official series with Motorsport New Zealand, and then to watch how you guys do the officiating after being on the receiving side in the real world, watching what you did, get my own penalty for dropping out and qualifying by mistake. So, no, it was really cool.
Absolutely, Mark. And I think we saw you on track for 3 of the rounds for this season. So it's good to see you mixing it out there. Was there anyone kind of new in this season that you hadn't kind of seen before and kind of caught your eye?
Well, yeah, I sort of do like to look at talent and stuff like that. And I actually know the young fella a little bit, but Alex Sprague surprised me. And also know Mitch Sparrow. He's a mechanic in the 86 series where my son ran, so I got to know him through that and seen him sim race and stuff like that in the past. And he impressed me with his maturity and his driving this year. And then, of course, Antel cleaned up. Ewan, I've raced against him in a number of things, and he's beaten me. So, but yeah, probably of the new guys, I haven't seen him too much in the sim leagues. Alex Sprague, yeah, he impressed me. I've seen him do grass karting and starting through the ranks in circuit racing in the South Island, and know his brother as well a little bit. So he was interesting to see for me.
Absolutely, and you obviously had a teammate out there in James sharing your livery with you. I don't think the broadcast showed it, but you two had a little bit of fun on that last lap at Sandown, coming to the line. I think the stewards might have turned a blind eye to what's happening there as well, Mark.
I'm glad. Well, I would like to rule it was his fault in there to first of all say, no, James and I started a very successful race series called 2K Cup 12 years ago. Became good mates, and yeah, we did the 2K Cup Sim Racing League during lockdowns and stuff like that, which was hugely popular. Had Lawson and Van Gisbergen and Wood and Callum Hedge and a whole lot of other drivers like Mark Mallard that raced. So that's how I sort of got into sim racing myself. Went from sort of playing once a month to playing quite regularly through that period, and still do it because I find it to be, well, it's my cheap thrill to get out there and do it, and I can do it on a Monday night when, yeah, after work is cool.
No, it's a great outlet for a lot of people, whether they're doing it for a bit of fun, to hone their skills for the real world, or to race competitively. And with a series like this, it really helps kind of connect that pathway from the virtual world to the real world. And it'll be interesting to see how this kind of develops in the future.
Yeah, I've sort of supported the sim racing before. Antel formerly won us some racing in a senior ute with that we did. I helped Hugo Allen into his first ever race after he won a prize in a sim race that I did a prize for. So yeah, I've seen the path where these kids can show their talent, and I say that loosely. They're some of them young men and men show their talent, and women. But yeah, it's cool to sort of try and give them a pathway, and to put Antel on track is going to be very cool. I think he's getting out to have a test in the next week, and then going to go get ready for the race weekend. So I know he's very excited to get out there and show his stuff, and we'll have to get a sticker from you guys to put on the car.
Absolutely. Now, Mark, we have one person in the chat asking a very obvious question, Mark. What's next? We've got to have another season, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to do something. We might have to find a GT4 car or something a bit more fun to drive. I did enjoy the 86, though. It could take a bashing, and in some of those races, it was pretty good that way. But yeah, we'll find something else to do it next year, I'm sure. And continue a pathway to at least put people in a test car and see what they can do.
It's awesome to have the support of people in the real community that can identify and see that there's merit to what we do in the virtual world as well. So without further ado, Antel's been waiting patiently in our waiting room. We might as well bring him in, Mark, and you can present to him his prize for winning the New Zealand 86 E-Cup.
Let's do it.
G'day, Antel.
Hello. Good evening.
Antel, how are we tonight?
Very good team. How are we going?
Very good. We've got Mark here to present you with your prize for winning the Cream Insurance New Zealand 86 E-Cup. First overall, 5 rounds of hard, grueling racing. We saw you at the front a lot, sometimes in the midst, in the back. The last round certainly looked to be a challenge with everyone out there on track looking to work against you. Obviously, first question has to be, how stoked are you? And can you give us an autograph when you win?
I'm very glad that round's over, because that was a nightmare from the very beginning. I don't think I did probably my best work in that qualifying to put myself in a good position to be where I was supposed to be, to put up a nice fight and keep myself safely up top. But we did what we did, and I'm super stoked that that last race is over, that last round is over. We did well enough for us there to do what we needed to do. So, and I'll get you all the autographs you need as long as we keep getting more of these series happening. So it was a lot of fun. And
Does that come with some driving, some driving tips as well, Antel?
Mate, if we keep these rolling more and more, I'll no problem at all. Just give me a call.
Going into that last round, and especially after the first race, that didn't probably quite go to plan for you. How's the heart rate? How's the tension? You would have seen the points gap shrinking, knowing you had a bit in the bank, but they're all out to get you.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily thinking of that Porsche series that I had before, where the championship definitely swung against me and hit me like a brick wall, but it definitely went that way to that whole last round there. It didn't, yeah. I tried to just drive. It was just a case of just driving. The qualifying was qualifying, and what happened. I just didn't choose the right tires. I didn't pit to get the dry tires enough. I didn't quite manage to pay attention, I guess, in the moment to notice that it was like really proper dry by that point. You sort of get carried away by getting the best laps that you can in that moment and doing the best driving that you've got with the equipment that you've got at that moment, but that's one to learn for the future anyway. But from there, it was just literally just managing the best I could, the positions that I was in, and just staying out of trouble. So that seemed to work well enough. As the races went, we avoided lots of incidents, lots of 5-10 car incidents happening all around us. So I'm just happy in hindsight that we managed to keep most of the panel straight, because for 2 of those races we definitely were a bit crooked.
Yeah, I remember watching it live on, I think it was the first lap of race 2, and there's a big pole up at the bottom of the hill, and it was the smallest of margin that you got missed by the car skidding across the track, and that could have very much been championship over right there.
Yep, I was definitely swinging away and looking in my mirrors in that moment, because that was a heart and mouth moment. That wasn't fun.
No, you did well. You missed by enough to get through cleanly. We'll touch on the qualifying and the tyres, because Ewan mentioned it earlier, where that weather's kind of 50-50 and progressing through the session. For the first 10 minutes, it looked like you were way out in front on the wet tyres, hosing everyone. I think at one point you had almost a second of a gap to P2, but we saw how quickly that changed just as that track started drying out and building temperature.
Yeah, that's what I said. It called me out because it all happened so quickly, and it's definitely one where it pays to have someone on the radars. We just straight up missed it, and it sucks. But it's such a key thing to make sure that you're keeping an eye on that radar. And hey, sometimes with the sim, you don't all get all the proper feel that you need to sort of tell exactly what you're driving. Just how much grip there is there. It's hard to tell when you're already running out on track whether the sick tire will be that much better, or you're gonna or there's too much puddles or too much rain on the track elsewhere where it might catch you out. So it's making that call definitely. But I think definitely the people who made that choice to stay on the dry tires definitely got the better end of the stick there.
Absolutely. Now, until going to that final round and you saw rain on the radar, were you hoping for a downpour, or do you want to just stay nice and dry for you?
I was hoping for a downpour, mate. You would think I'd like a nice and dry race or something like that, but I think definitely in the rain is something of a strength that I found, at least in practice for me. So I would have definitely liked that to happen. I hope we get more opportunity in future series like that to have a bit more of a rainy fun on track in the future.
Yeah, I don't know who does the forecast for iRacing, but we had a couple of rounds with quite a high rain percentage, and it didn't come through. So
Those people need to be sacked.
absolutely. Especially when there's rain on the schedule at Long Beach, we're like, man, we're going to be in for a long night here, and it didn't eventuate, but we're still in for a long night as it turned out anyway.
I was very excited, but then yeah, that radar, I was very annoyed when I saw that radar going into that session because it's not what I wanted to see.
No, that's
Well, I
awesome.
can
Well,
promise
Mark,
you the rainy radar and Taupo is no better anyway, mate, and pretty much
Yep,
everywhere
so
in
we'll
New Zealand's
see.
that way too.
We're working off the news forecast on that one, I think.
is there anything you want to ask your champion while he's here?
Well, I just want to congratulate him on behalf of Career Insurance Motorsport New Zealand. Congratulations. Look forward to him. We've seen Antal do some racing throughout the last few years, so it's really good to see him on the track in the Toyota 86 series and see what he can take from the sim world to the real world. So it's really exciting to see, and great work from all of the officials, all of your team. The broadcast was awesome on the rounds. I didn't do it, and I watched some of the broadcast afterwards because I didn't see much at the back of the field. So it was awesome to see from everyone. Thank you for letting my company be part of this great team, and Antal, congratulations, a deserving champion.
Very much, Mark. I really appreciate the opportunity. I hope I don't let anyone down on that one. I'm going to be giving it my all, and I hope to fly the flag for the sim racers and really prove what us guys on the virtual world can do.
Well, Mark did ask me a couple of weeks ago, Intel, what my dream outcome would be for this competition for the winner. And my reply, Intel, was that the winner does a really shit job and I get the call up to take his place. And unfortunately, I don't think that's
story.
I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. But hey, if something doesn't work out there, you know where to find me.
Right. Got you on reserve driver duties.
We've got one comment or one question from our viewers there, Antel. Spotting the engagement ring or wedding ring on your finger. How's your partner support you with what you do?
Let me do this at all. I mean, I'm on here because I got permission to. So she's amazing. She's amazing. So she's very supportive of all the time that we put on here to make the results happen on track. So I'm definitely very thankful of that.
Hey, behind every strong man there's a stronger woman, right, Antel? So
That's right, next to the tango. So
yep.
both
Hopefully you'll have her out there in the team. I'm sure you'll find some work for her to do, spinning some spanners or cleaning the car. Hopefully not fixing any dents or anything on it. But hey, we're looking forward to seeing how you go and watching your progress, and we wish you all the best.
Cheers, team. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Before we let you go, Antel, is there anyone you want to thank or give a shout out to?
First, a big thank you to Barry at MRP Sim Racing for keeping me kitted out and running. We've definitely had my own little issues on my rig, and he's only been a little message away, so a little quick message away. So I'm really thankful of that, helping me through all the problems there and keeping us running and supporting me running the series. Vermilion Esports as well for all the team keeping me honest and keeping me prepared as a driver and making sure I turned up and really got the results. So thank you to the Vermilion boys on that one. Mark at Cream Insurance and Kyle at IQ Security for making that happen for me, this 86 round as well. And I really just cannot wait until that Taupo round. Finding out that prize was definitely put a spark in my eye and a bit of a fire at the same time to keep pushing at that, make that happen. So, uh, just yeah, lost for words a little bit on that one, and also for putting up the Sanyong drive, because as I said before, getting more sim races on the track and showcasing what some of these guys can do as well. Not only myself, there's a lot of guys on here that are definitely capable to do well in real life on the real track, in a real car. So the more opportunities we get like this, the better for the community. So I just would love to see that happen. I'll do my best. So hopefully more people get inspired to have more of these prizes and more of these competitions put up. So we're going to be doing our best and going forward. And I just can't wait. A little bit lost for words. I just very much looking forward.
That's awesome, Antel. And see how much this means to you. And without putting too much pressure onto you, all the New Zealand sim racing is watching and hoping you kick ass at Taupo for us. Now, Mark, for those who want to follow, is the Taupo racing going to be broadcast or showed anywhere?
I don't know if they've got a highlights package or what, but they'll definitely have results to follow Toyota Gazoo. I'm sure they put up all the stuff over the weekend, live timings there through Speed Hive and stuff like that, so you can get all of that sort of stuff and stay through the Toyota socials. I'm sure Antel will have some stuff going, and I'm sure we'll work through to make sure the Sim Collective group has some stuff as well, because yeah, really happy with what you guys have done and in the part you've played. So we'll have to make sure you're on the car, and if any of the sim racers out there want to help support and maybe help us delivery or something for it, we might be able to do something pretty cool.
Awesome, Mark. Antel, well done. Congratulations. We look forward to seeing what comes of this. Hopefully you let someone else win the next one, but I'm sure you'll be there, and you won't. You'll fight it to the end as you always do. So thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, team, have a good night.
Well, Brad, that pretty much wraps up our New Zealand 86 E Cup. Our first one with Cream Insurance and Motorsport New Zealand. How do you feel it's gone?
Yeah, pretty good. It's been a lot of fun in the background, bringing the broadcast to the people and those commentators. Yeah, how good were they? So, all around a good show, if you ask me.
Absolutely. And for those who want to see more of your lovely face, Brad, from THD Sim Sports Productions, how do people find you and tune in?
You can find us on Facebook, THD Sim Sport Productions, or we are over on Twitch at THD_Brad.
That is awesome. And what communities and nights do you kind of normally broadcast?
So we're picking up VRA as of next week, I believe. So we'll be bringing some Porsche Carrera Cup racing to you. Obviously, all the Kiwi Sim racing stuff on a Tuesday night final round tomorrow night of that Gen 3 Genesis series, I believe. So yeah, get amongst that. Obviously, Ian's car as well on a bit of a holiday at the moment, but yeah, once that gets back into life, no doubt we'll be bringing that to your screens. And of course, the Xfinity series about to start on a Sunday night over at Virtual Racing Aotearoa as well. So not too late to get yourself entered into that as well if you want to do a bit of oval racing.
You are a busy man, Brad.
Yeah, good times.
Good stuff. Well, thank you, everyone. Before we touch base, I just want to give a shout out to all our viewers, our drivers, our supporters, everyone who's been a part of this series. If it wasn't for you guys, we won't be here doing this. So, guys, thank you very much. We hope to see you again in the future. We definitely will have more planned and hopefully bring you something different, I guess. We've had, what did we have last year? Porsches for NZD Sports. So does this time. Who knows what's next? Maybe it's a supercar, an open wheeler, or maybe something goes down in circles. We have to wait and see.
Too right.
Until next time, guys, be sure to keep an eye out. Facebook page, NZ Sim Racing TV, NZ Sim Racing Hub if you're looking for events and series to race in. All the big leagues and events advertise their events on there. So if you want to get involved, go see them. If you need equipment, go check out Next Level Racing, Barry Madden at MRP, Speed Nation. Need insurance, go see Cream Insurance. I don't know who else we can thank, Brad. Who else we got? DM Cinematography for our photography of the series. Jack Hintz at Racing Creative for doing our design work. Xavier Simmons doing transitions and replays and putting some videos together of me attempting to drive the BMW around the track every week. George behind the scenes doing cameras and helping with the broadcast. Justin and Wayne doing our intro and outro videos. Mate, it's just awesome. Everyone who's been involved, hats off to you guys. Of course, Reese and Scott, far better job than what we did tonight, Brad. To be quite honest, I think this might be a one and done deal for me.
One off, you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. But thanks, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure to be a part of this, and we really look forward to seeing what's next.
Too right, awesome.
All right, well, signing out, guys. See you next time.